Hi everyone, it's Ashwin recording this. We're bringing to you a little bit of a special episode today. As some of you know, if you've been following the blog or follow us on Facebook, my co-bloggers Varun and DJ are actually at the ground in Nottingham for the first day of the third test match. So, we thought it would be a little bit fun to try to bring you live updates, call it as it happened. And so what we did is, while they were at the ground, between every session, so right after lunch, right after tea, and then at the end of the day, we got on a Facebook live call, we broadcasted it on our Facebook page, and we just kind of broke down what happened in that session, how we feel about it, and what we expect going forward. So what we've done is we've compiled those three segments into one episode for you. It starts with the first recap we did, which was right at the lunch break when India were put into bat by England, who won the toss and went into lunch at 82 for 3. So let's take you to the lunch call we had wrapping up the first session of play.
I think Ashwin, are you on?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, man. How are you?
Guys. Good. How's Nottingham?
Yeah. Do you want to give them an update?
Nottingham is good. We had an interesting morning. DJ and I made it to the train station on time. Well before time. We sat on the train. As the train started moving, DJ said he's forgotten the tickets, match tickets. And there was absolutely nothing we could do. So we actually Ram Bharote left for Nottingham, thinking that we'll probably end up watching it in a bar.
The ticket office only opens at 9:30 a.m. Our train, which we reached for half an hour before time, was at 7:22 a.m. So
what did you do? How did this end?
So first we got here, we called the stadium, and they were pretty nice actually. They said they were not the first guys to have done this. Forgotten your tickets. We can reprint
they
it.
actually called it a replacement fee, not a penalty fee.
But I think it's a penalty fee. So we've now spent an extra £20.
So we've come to the conclusion that our mothers would be really unhappy with us.
For just wasting money.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so then we got a Uber from the Nottingham station to our hotel, and the guy turned out to be a Pakistani cab driver who'd apparently picked up Cheteshwar Pujara and Ravichandran Ashwin then on Thursday. Did he say on Thursday? Night. And he asked them, घर पे तो तुम 700 रन बनाते हो, यहाँ पे तो 200 भी नहीं बना पाते. And apparently Chetu was like, sorry bhai, हार गए and all. And then and we also had a preview of the changes because he'd picked up a Cricinfo journalist, Nagaraj, the guy with the long hair, the silver hair. So he told them that India's going to make 3 changes. Right? This journalist knew. Huh?
This journalist knew, and I think he didn't. The Uber driver didn't tell us all the changes, but I think it was pretty clear that Pant was going to come in.
Yeah.
Ashwin, any thoughts on the changes? Considering you didn't expect any change to the batting lineup, and you were quite adamant even last night messaging us saying, "Hey guys, what do you think?" And
yeah, but that's unfair because you guys had this inside info that I didn't have, right? So this is not a level playing.
That was today morning.
I didn't have cab drivers, man, that know these things. No, look, Dhawan made 35, so it's not bad relatively, and it was the first 50 plus, or second 50 plus opening stand we've had in our last 2 series in England and stuff. But I'm not happy really with the changes, right? Like I'm excited now that he's in to see Pant, but I think you can't have Dhawan in for 1 game, Vijay in for 2, and then Dhawan back. And the interesting thing I was reading is that since 2007, only 4 test batsmen have made test openers for India have made their debuts. 3 of who are Rahul, Vijay, and Dhawan, right? So it's this constant freaking revolving door of people. I don't know who the 4th is too. I didn't read the stat on it. I think maybe Parthiv, but I think he debuted before that as an opener. So I'm not sure who the 4th is. Yeah, fair enough. The point is, it's just these same 3 guys that keep revolving through, right? There's no either stick to 2 or try some young, completely new blood and open with Pant or something. But constantly revolving Dhawan, Vijay, and Rahul to me is not great. But anyway. How is it looking from the ground? How first session?
So we had we have great seats. We are literally the only Indian supporters in our stand.
Nice.
So we have to behave fairly well. It was looking very good for the first 1 hour. It's gone very blurry. What's happening?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, well, it's better.
Yeah.
We're the only Indian supporters in our stand. We've got great seats just behind the bowler's arm from the Radcliffe Road, and the one that Stokes is bowling from. And it looked really good for the first hour. I think Dhawan and Rahul played exceptionally well against the moving ball. They left a lot. They didn't. They were not trying to get away to a quick start and score runs and stuff. And I think the first 2 wickets they were good balls, and there's nothing you could really do about it. I think we were really disappointed because Cheteshwar Pujara played literally the most brainless shot you can imagine.
He was showing intent, right?
I was telling DJ, I don't think Cheteshwar Pujara ever hits a hook shot
Or ever
tries
middles the
to-
ball.
or ever middles the ball. But just one ball before lunch, he manages to do
He
that.
smashes it.
And you know what the
To
best
Rashid.
part is? There was only one guy in the deep, and honestly, Adil Rashid has been running from pillar to post across the field because he's just with a lefty-righty combination. Almost every second, third ball, he is running from one fine leg
So,
side to the other.
Adil Rashid is only fielding at fine leg, by the way, in this match. So he fields at one end on fine leg, and they become third man for the left-hander.
Yeah.
So he moves across every time the strike rotates, and he moves across the other side of the field
Yeah.
to fine leg. So he is got a sponsorship, I think, from Fitbit or Strava or something, and he's like smashing the set. And we have picked out the one guy. In fact, I was making fun of him the ball before, saying Adil Rashid is only playing this match to field at fine leg.
He's a specialist fine leg
Specialist
fielder.
fine leg.
And still he found a way to get into the game. After having done 0 at Lords, he
No,
managed
he's
to
not
take
even
part.
in the game, man. Nice guys, yeah.
In fact, we are nice guys. Cook and all were actually making fun of Adil Rashid. Every time Rashid was going from fine leg to third man, Cook was like, come on, Rashid.
Yeah. So it was pretty bad in that sense.
So on the Pujara wicket, I was just saying, watching on TV, because obviously I don't have the same perspective as you guys do. The camera looked at Pujara's face for like 1/3 of a second, and then
No,
was
he
just
stood there.
zoomed in on Kohli.
just-
It was just zoomed in on Kohli, and
And what is
looked
Kohli's
so
expression?
pissed. Kohli just looked like the commentary was, if looks could kill through the back of the head, Pujara would be dead right now. I mean,
I
Kohli was
think
so
Kohli will break
angry.
Pujara's head. I think he's going to crack his head.
Pull on the last ball before lunch, or
They've not
the
bowled
last ball before
all
lunch.
day. They bowled maybe one bouncer before. And you've got one over to go. And I'm like, I play cricket at club level. I know this bouncer is coming because they've not tried it all day. You are an international test cricket. You don't know the ball is going to be bounced at you. It's the last over before lunch.
Man, in preparation
But
for this
didn't-
test, knowing Pujara's going to bat at 3, I was watching that clip yesterday where Dravid was 0 from 40 balls, and then when he took his single, the entire crowd started cheering. He raised his bat at the crowd. It was beautiful, and I was expecting bigger things from Pujara.
No, but Pujara was batting nicely, but I think his career is done, boss. Like, I think he's been around too long to be throwing his wicket away like this without scoring any runs. I mean, he's been around for too long.
He's been
to do
around
this.
too long. I mean, I remember him batting with Sachin in probably 6 years ago, 7 years ago. He's not a newcomer anymore.
Hello, Indran Mukherjee. Hi, Indran. He scores 82 for 3. Pujara just got out for 14 of 30 balls. Kohli's batting on 4 of 11. So, happy to contribute with that.
Yeah, and so Ashwin, what do you think is going to happen in the second session?
I think Kohli's going to buckle down. He has to get some runs. He has to stay there for a little bit. I think I'm really hoping Rahane is able to stick around with him for a little bit. Like he needs this. The team needs this. I'm excited to see what Pant does. I don't know if they'll send him at 6. Maybe they'll send Pandya at 6, Pant at 7. Maybe Ashwin will get a promotion. It's with Shastri, the weirder the
I think
weirder the
we
more
are
likely
super
it is.
excited
But
about fun.
Yeah,
DJ,
we
want to
are
watch
very
Pant back.
excited about Pant, but I personally also think that post lunch, I don't think we'll see Rahane be walking out.
Who's it going to be?
I think it's either Ashwin or Pandya. Honestly, that's just my take.
Okay, interesting. I think
I think Rahane will walk out. I mean, for anybody who's watching that doesn't have the context, Pant averages over 50 at first class level and strike rate is over 90. Now, obviously, that's all playing in India, but I mean, exciting talent, right?
But it was good that I think Shikhar reeled himself in. Shikhar batted really well.
He batted a lot of discipline.
The one he got out to, he played in front of his body. You can't do anything about it. It was a good ball.
Yeah,
It's got him.
it was unplayable.
It wasn't the loose drive outside the off stump which irritated all of us. And so it was nice to see Shikhar bat with Rahul. And I mean, the running between the wickets I thought was excellent. Huh?
I think they did really well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the difference when
He was too
That's the
cold, man.
difference.
Yeah.
Rahul was just
Rahul was wearing a
cold.
full sleeve shirt and he was wearing a sweater and he was just too cold.
Yeah, that's why he
Is
when
it
he
is it
wanted.
cold there? Because I saw the
No,
warm
it's
up
not.
picture.
It's
We have
not.
pictures of Kohli wearing the beanie on his head and all. Like, is it?
It's
It's
I
not
think it's
cold. We are
freezing
just
there,
wearing
man.
our jackets.
We're wearing our jackets
So
because
that
we don't want to lose them.
yeah, and also I just realized that I'm wearing a Nike T-shirt and a Nike jacket.
So Varun,
Sponsorship.
for this podcast.
Just do it, bro.
Just do it indeed. Um, but I think opening partnership was really good, and that it was a good solid base. But we've kind of thrown it away with the last wicket, and that was really irritating for us. I mean, it was a good solid base, 82 for two going into lunch. The English crowd was quiet and down; they were not talking. They were quite serious, and they brought England back into the game with Oakes picking up three. Yeah, so
What I liked was I think the
What
English
was
bowlers were just patient. They know they are good. They just had to keep going. I mean, honestly, before lunch they picked up three.
Yeah.
On any other look for the first hour we dominated, but in any other situation, 82 for three is a bowler's session.
Yeah, plus winning the toss. If the other team goes into lunch 82 for 2,
Yeah.
that's a bad toss to lose.
Yeah.
Sorry, a bad decision in the toss.
Yeah.
I would have thought. You obviously
One
not
question
very
for you
well.
guys. I don't have the numbers on this, but just from watching, it feels like a shorter Jimmy Anderson spell than we're used to seeing. And then when Kohli came on, they brought back Broad. They didn't bring back Jimmy's. Was he not as impactful? Obviously, all the wickets were Oakes.
No, I think I personally think he was. I was also surprised, but DJ called it out saying that Stuart Broad got him out last game. And honestly, Stuart Broad was bowling better than Jimmy, I think, just from what we could.
And he got him out last game at caught it short leg, right? So and Broad was he was looking dangerous, and he I think has a very good record at Trent Bridge, which is traditionally aided swing bowlers. So I mean, I think that last wicket that we lost is going to hurt us because I mean it's the kind of wicket. It isn't a seaming wicket. Surprisingly, we thought there maybe more assistance for the quick bowlers, but the wicket looks okay. It looks like a good wicket to bat on. In fact, so if the batsmen can get in, they can capitalize. And we thought Rahul and Dhawan had done that, but unfortunately they both lost their wickets. And I say that as opposed to Pujara, who's gifted away his wicket, which we cannot afford to do. Being 2-0 down in the series, you can't afford to give away wickets, give them away like that.
What about the man who came straight from courthouse to cricket field, and how do you think he did? His bowling looked really shit on TV for what it's worth. Like Dhawan was easily cover driving him, was punching him into the offside, no punching. But Stokes looked weak. Was it the right call to have him back?
I think both of us think it's the wrong call. I think even if Stokes picks up a few wickets later on, I think both of us think it's the wrong call. It is a talent development piece. You have a 20-year-old bowler who has batted and won you a game with his batting as well. I think it was a poor call, and it's just unfortunate. But we know this is what happens in cricket. Big names do survive. Sam Curran is young; he'll just have to wait. But I think it was the wrong call. I also think that Dhawan bumping into Stokes. Did you see that? Dhawan
I saw
ran
it.
into.
I was worried for Dhawan's face, man.
I was into Dhawan's face. So I think it was lucky for Dhawan that he didn't get the raw end of Stokes.
Yeah, but let's talk a little bit about the use of these reviews as well. So both of us have lost a review each in the first session of the game already. So 27 overs in, we lost our review when Pujara in fact convinced Rahul to
Take it.
review a decision which Rahul had walked off.
Yeah, but see, it's quite easy for the thing is the non-striker, the burden's on the non-striker, right? It's easy to say, yeah, I'll tell Lele review. It's not that much pressure. But for you to stand there and say, look, man, I think that was out. You got to go. That's what Pujara should have done. Like to the naked eye, it looked out because it hit the back leg. I mean, it was 3 reds. It wasn't even umpire's call. So, and then the other one, Bairstow.
बड़े साहब के लिए एक रिजर्व्ड है मैं तुझे अपना देता हूँ.
Yeah. Then of course I went one level further and said Kohli should take both reviews in the game. To which DJ was like, hey, one batsman cannot take 2 reviews because you just have 1 review.
Dude, Kohli should get man. If Kohli could get double batting, that's the only way India has a chance in this series.
I would play with 1 less player. I would play with 10 and
agree, 100%. And then we'll win the series 3-2.
3-2. Acha.
Only no, but the English review also, right? Like when Dhoni used to keep for tests in India, or when Dhoni keeps in limited over, you go 100% with the wicketkeeper for an LBW. And Bairstow said no. Bairstow said, "Do not review this." Root was not really interested, and but
Root
Broad was convinced. So,
was really angry.
Root was really upset
yeah,
that. In fact, he was showing that it's hit outside the line.
but then Root has to make the call, right? He needs to then step up and be a captain. You can't do it and then get upset. When your keeper says don't want to review and captain doesn't want to review, then what does that mean?
And after that, Varun showed me a picture of Joe Root and Ellen DeGeneres.
I think
That was his reaction.
So anyone watching, if you haven't checked it out, just Google Joe Root, Ellen DeGeneres, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Any other talking points?
No, I just think India needs to be smart. I think the batting lineup can be fluid from now on. I think you need to play Pandya and Pant very carefully. I don't think there's a point playing them one after the other. So whether Pandya comes out now or Ashwin comes out now, I believe Rahane needs to be saved for another 1 minute. That's just my personal.
Yeah, but I'm really looking forward.
Guys, can we post this? Can we, if you guys get 5 minutes, can we post this Joe Root, Ellen DeGeneres picture on our page? It's unbelievable.
Have you not seen this?
I've never seen anything like it. This is
never seen anything like it.
Amazing.
It's too good. It's too good.
I'm so happy with the points of load. I've been thinking for years.
It's almost up there with Roger Federer and Arbaz Khan. It's right up there.
Okay.
Anyway,
I think those were the talking points. I think this is another key session for the series.
We are literally
we've got probably our best 2 batsmen out there, so we're 1 minute away from the start. So we'll see you guys at tea.
So that was the end of part 1. You can tell sort of cautious optimism, having had a decent first session, but a little bit of frustration with Pujara's wicket right as we went into lunch. We'll take you now to the recording we did at the tea break, which was the end after the second session of play, which was a little bit better for the Indian side.
Mr. Garg.
Hey guys, good session.
Great session, man.
I think the best session I've seen India play in England live.
And that's like over 10.
Where did you get a hat from?
Yeah.
I went wearing a hat at lunch.
Yeah, man. It became sunny all of a sudden.
It was pretty sunny. India did make hay. So what are your thoughts, man? What are the commentators saying? What's the wicket playing like? It looks pretty flat to us. So it seems like a strange decision to bowl first.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give my thoughts in a second, but don't ask what the commentators are saying, because basically Bhaji's in the Sky Sports box talking shit the whole time and constantly struggling with saying we are doing well and then pausing and saying, actually, now I'm a commentator, so I have to be neutral. Nobody really cares. So, Harbhajan is a great off spinner, but he should leave the commentary box. But
in fact, one of my friends was saying that Harbhajan Singh is going on telling Isa Guha that you should be supporting India. You're Indian. And she's like, bro, I've won a World Cup for England. And he's like, but you're still Indian. Did he actually say that?
Ridiculous. He's one of the worst commentators. I mean, after a point, I muted it. Like, it was more painful to listen. And any ex-cricketer, he brings Indian perspective. I don't know. Actually, Nasir Hussain and David Lloyd are pretty good, man, but the others are useless.
So, what are the commentators saying otherwise on the game?
I mean, it's finally India's finally won a session. I think they're saying, both batsmen showing up well. Rahane. Rahane showed some positive intent even at Lords, but wasn't able to convert it. I mean, to me, you guys tell me what it was like at the ground, but Kohli walking off the ground with his arm around Rahane was just the epitome of saying, thank you for finally showing up to support me. Somebody showed up to support me. And I thought that was great. Like, good session. I mean, 189 for 3 is good. It's not great. So there needs to be one more good session before really Root can regret.
I was just going to say that Kohli seems to be dragging this Indian team along with him with the sheer force of his will. And finally, Rahane showed up to support him. And he's just thankful, as you said, about the fact that there's someone else standing up with him. You can see how much it means to him when he scored his 50 and all of that stuff. But I mean...
Yeah, you could actually see Ravi Shastri was also very happy when Rahane got this.
Yeah.
I think he just applied himself. To be honest, he did edge it quite a bit. In fact, DJ was saying there's 2 or 3 boundaries that were off the edge.
The first few went off
but
the edge.
It's fine, man. You got to play yourself in. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay to be in that position.
Yeah.
So, I mean, absolutely. It was good. Now, I think what's really interesting for me is the English pacers haven't really been put under pressure like this, right? So now seeing the 3 and 4, Stokes didn't do well either. Seeing the 4th English pacer really struggling, that's going to be interesting now to see how they react.
Yeah, and left arm of Karthik that they're missing, right? I mean, how much would they have given to have one bowler with that variety of coming left arm over, where you had five bowlers bowling right arm, and I mean Rashid finally bowled in the series, and I mean every time he'd bowl short, Kohli was just like, "I'm so glad you're playing this Test match. Why would you not play Karan instead of them?" We were just saying, I mean, when we came to the ground today, we were just like, I hope India bats today, and we'll watch them bowl tomorrow. And now we're almost, and I don't want to jinx it, but we're almost entertaining thoughts of watching India bat tomorrow, which was unthinkable at Lords. We were extremely depressed, I think, last week.
Last Sunday.
Last Sunday evening was depressing for us. So we did not have a good Sunday evening in more ways than one. I mean, in fact, we watched Lagan because India's win is guaranteed in Lagan. So we watched Bhuvan, Tipu, Lakhu.
And I think everyone saw it.
Yeah, we posted a few
Instagram.
things on Instagram. But,
You
I mean,
posted almost the whole movie on Instagram Live.
yeah, but I mean, a guaranteed win, right, for India against England in Lagan. So,
Hi Rohan, what's up, man?
hello, Rohan.
Good to see you tune in. Yeah, so we were just saying, I think an overall very good session. First session India has won, I think, in England for a long time.
Since Lords in 2014.
Since Lords in 2014, probably. I think they've set it up really well. I think India's on top. I think what's key for me is there are four pace bowlers. The bowlers are going to be tired.
And it's hurt India. You can see how much it's hurt Kohli, the loss at Lords within 2.5 whatever days. But it's hurt him. It's hurt India. They've tried hard. Even someone like Shikhar Dhawan has played within himself, played to the conditions, played for the team instead of just playing. And I mean, it's a different mindset that they've come out. They've come out with the Test mindset. They finally, I think, got into the Test series. At lunch, we were both very irritated with Pujara that he got out. And I mean, Kohli's just like saying, "These are my runs now." So.
And you could see, I think Kohli was also just so irritated with Pujara because DJ and I also discussed it. The minute you get closer to tea, the bowlers are going to be tired.
Yeah, and the sun is out now.
Yeah.
It's hot. The crowd has been really quiet, by the way. So we remember last Sunday, right, at Lords, where it was a wicket every 3 balls and the crowd was going, hey, it's been silence. There's been polite clapping when Kohli and Rahane have got. And so we are at, this is a new experience for me. I haven't watched Test cricket outside of London. And London has a lot of home, well, I say home support, Indian support, right? But like Nottingham is not got that much Indian support.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a new experience for me and it's different because we're sat in a stand where there are no other Indian supporters. So
and we have to say it is a beautiful ground.
It's fantastic. So if you can have
It's
the ground
really
is just stunning.
one of the best
Beautiful.
grounds, honestly.
Beautiful.
And it's pretty large as well. So Rohan has asked a question. Do you think Pant is lucky to make his debut on a flat wicket? So Ashwin, let me get your view first.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure it is a flat wicket, to be honest. None of the pre-match analysis said it's a really flat wicket. The ball is swinging, like they're getting some swing, they're getting some seam. I think that the Indian batsmen have just handled it a little bit better. So I definitely lucky to not be making it at Lords. Definitely not lucky to be slightly better than Lords. But I don't know if it's fair to say it's a really flat wicket. I think I stand by what we said on our podcast a week or so ago. Is it's tough for Pant to be making his debut outside India. So I don't know what the stats are like on that, on what number of players make their Test debuts for their team at home versus away. But I don't remember such a young player making a Test debut in England after being 2-0 down. It's a lot of pressure. So again, I mean, I loved the session, really excited. But next are Pandya and Pant, right? And so one wicket falls and you've got an erratic all-rounder and a new guy who's also known for playing his shots. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this goes.
What I would say is, I think Rohan's asked a good question. I think the key point for me is not so much it's a flat wicket or not. What's interesting for me is I think Pant is lucky that he's going to come in when the foundation is set. His kind of batting is such that it's a clear mind, free mind, come in. Of course, we know Pant falls over himself every time he's batting. And so, yeah, I think it's great. And I don't want to say hi, Prabhav. Good to have you on live as well. If Pant,
Hey, Prabhav.
Prabhav has said if Pant hits a boundary, he would have already scored more than Karthik.
That's probably fair.
Which
No, I
is
think
fair.
no. He scored 20 second innings.
Yeah, but I think
20 up to 21 runs. He's what DK is unlucky, man.
I think if he hits a boundary, he'll be at the same average as DK.
We were also discussing DK should have been kept for the one dayers. We confused him for a Test player, but I mean, I think DK is a completely separate topic. I think Pant, we kind of look forward to seeing him at some point in this series. It's come at a very crucial point for us, which is a bit stressful, I think, for us. But I don't think I think hopefully he can manage it. I'm really looking forward to what this guy bat. In Test cricket, he's someone I think who can change a game in half an hour.
And we said about it, right? Ashwin, there's a jibe for you from Rohan. But anyway, what we've been saying on the now I can't even think straight, man.
Rohan is a harsh guy.
Rohan is a very harsh fan.
Rohan
He's a
is
critic.
a harsh guy. We are going to criticize.
It's easy to be an armchair critic, man. Like when you have to put your stake in the ground, then it's a little bit different. I'd love to see the stats on how much I've been wrong versus others.
Why don't you ask Rohan how Punjab did in the IPL? I think that would be a good question to ask back to Rohan.
Definitely a good question to ask.
And Prabhav, interesting. Prabhav said we should accept DK is not an option anymore. We need to look in the future. Maybe it's fun. So Prabhav, I think Prabhav, absolutely fair. No doubt. DJ and I were even discussing how Sehwag changes the face of Test cricket. He even told Warner that, boss, the field is in. The game is set up for people like you to go and make runs. And Warner has done very well. I personally think Pant can do that. It's a lot to ask for him in the first match, but I think it's possible.
I think the key for Pant is to do well with the gloves. Yeah. He can be okay with the bat, but he's got to take the catches when they count because a drop catch can lose your match. So he's got to be confident behind the stumps, like Johnny Best, who's not a regular, like Josh Butler, who's not a regular keeper. They've all trained themselves to become keepers. Pant has the advantage of being the keeper from day one. I think if he gets his keeping down well, if he's confident behind the stump, his batting is a huge plus.
You just managed to avoid the commentary cliche. Instead of saying catches win matches, you said drop catches can lose you matches, but that's okay. We'll allow it.
And double negatives.
Double negatives.
But yeah, DK, I think has had a bit of a rough day. We were talking again.
We were talking. Oh, Ritik has also logged on. This is like a nice little SMA party going on.
It really is.
Hi, Ritik. What's up, man?
We are actually sitting in the Hadley waiting area.
I don't know what kind of fans we have, man. Like posting all kinds of nonsense
generally
comments.
Quite low quality.
But anyway, I think DJ's point on Pant was good. I think it was make sure he does his keeping well because
against spinners.
He doesn't have much to lose.
In India, it's hard to keep against those guys.
Yeah, but he doesn't have much to lose because Saha. Let's face it, just can't get over that one shot in Adelaide. I'm sorry, man. Dancing down the track when Kohli was going to win the game. Yeah. Anyway, the boy with the cap does have some sharp.
That
was a nice little tongue twister that Prabha was giving me.
It's not a tongue twister.
Anyway, any other questions, guys, before we get on the field?
Yeah, we're going to try and go back before the Indian team collapsed, and all of this means nothing. So we'd like to continue this. It's great fun. I mean, we're really glad we came to Nottingham after the disaster at Lord's. This has restored our faith a little bit in Indian cricket. Kohli's dragging India with him, and hopefully he can drag us into tomorrow with batting.
Yes.
Right. We will enjoy the last session.
And we'll see you after the game.
Maybe. Depends.
On what?
Depends how it goes.
Fiction.
First, Rahane restarted with a boundary, so you guys should go catch it.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys. Thanks, Ashwin. Thanks, guys.
And finally, we did a quick recording to wrap up the end of the day's play as Varun and DJ were leaving the stadium. So let's take you to that.
Hey, Ashwin.
Hello.
So, end of day one at Trent Bridge, 3-0-7 for 6. What do you guys think? Even day?
Yeah, I think it was even. I think it was India's day. I think it was just unfortunate that Pandya's timing of getting out was at the last ball of play. So I think that kind of made it a little bit neutral, but I would still call it India's.
I think it's a big improvement on what we saw at Lord's. Lord's was 107 all out and a 130 all out. So I think we take 307 for 6. Although 307 for 5 would have been better. I mean, if you guys have been following our podcast, we have spoken about Hardik Pandya and his place in the team. Pandya getting out on the last ball of the day, I think, changed the dynamic of the day. But I mean, we'll talk about a few things today. One of them is obviously going to be Rishabh Pant. And we've been talking about Rishabh Pant for
a while now.
We talked about him in the preview, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, Ashwin, what do you have to say about him second ball?
I mean, I thought it was fantastic. We were all feeling really, really low after Kohli got out on 97, and then to see him dance down the track. I mean, you guys must have gone crazy in the stands. I thought it was
insane. Awesome. We just stood up and we were like, yeah. So we're going to have to wrap up very shortly, but Rishabh Pant, second ball 6, second ball in Test cricket, just dances down the track, hits Adil Rashid straight down.
Yeah, I think it was almost like we were discussing that he's got the Viru spirit in him. It was great to see somebody fearless just come down, second ball. I mean, 2 balls ago, Adil Rashid has dismissed the captain Kohli on 97, and Rishabh Pant
And
just dances
that
down
was
the.
disappointing because we were getting ready to like record the celebration. Kohli kissing the bat because he called his cap out. The ball, the over at the start of the over.
But overall, I think good day for India. I think Rahane played superbly.
Yeah, he was unlucky. That was a great catch.
It was a great catch. In fact, it was funny that Bairstow wasn't even in. Bairstow didn't even move his hands, didn't move his feet, nothing. So Cook, it was really a great catch. But yeah, I think Rahane. So quickly to summarize, I think Rahane played very well. I think Kohli got a little bit ahead of himself. It's almost like he was planning his celebration. And I think it was just unfortunate that he got out of 97.
Yeah, the catch that Rahane got out, I mean, Alistair Cook was just, and he hadn't done anything all day. We were like, it looks like he's working from home, but he turned up when it mattered, and I think that was a game-changing catch. Rahane on 81, absolutely stunning reflex catch. As Varun said, Besto had not even moved. Fantastic catch. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Prince, Janbaz, Shoaib, and Mohammad Sohail, who all joined on the live Facebook podcast, and Sanket as well. Hello, guys. Obviously, we have come here to Nottingham to watch the game at Trent Bridge. It's been refreshing, to say the least, after the Lord's disaster. We'll be here tomorrow as well.
Yep.
307 for 6. I think games in the balance. But I mean, we've been waiting for Rishabh Pant bat for
A long
time.
Ashwin, any thoughts on what will happen tomorrow? First session.
It's tough to say, man. With Hardik Pandya having gone, Ashwin's done pretty well with the bat, honestly, in the series and even in South Africa and stuff. So I think if they can grind it out till at least 20, 25 more overs, get to 375 plus, I think the game's going to be in a really.
What is Pandya doing in this team? Hi Saddam, and hi Ahmed. How are you guys? But what is Pandya doing in this team really? I mean, he doesn't contribute with the bat. He's playing against his natural game almost, I feel.
Yeah, I think he needs to be told that your place is secure. Just go out and bat. I think Pandya and Pant both in the team create a little bit of conflict. But I mean, let's see. Tomorrow, my view would be to come out to have Ashwin support Pant. Let Pant go out there, play some shots. Like Ashwin said, if we get to 375, I think it'll be a fantastic. I think it'll be a great total considering what we were at just a week. So I think that's it from us, guys. We are going to wrap up this session. We will be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m.
So in a different part of the ground.
In a different part of the ground. So we'll try and go live tomorrow morning. Yeah, and so we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you, everyone. I think a good day of cricket for India in England in a test match after a long time.
The best one I've definitely watched. Definitely.
First 300 plus, guys. We should be celebrating.
Yes, absolutely.
For a long time.
All right. Thank you, guys.
See you.
And that's it. So that brings to an end our 3-segmented special podcast episode that was a combination of the 3 recordings we did actually live during the first day's play. They will be back at the stadium again for day 2 of the 3rd test at Nottingham. So maybe we'll try to give this a shot again, but do let us know what you think. As usual, give us a like on Facebook, share this podcast. If you can go on wherever you listen to podcasts and give us a rating, that helps us reach more people. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we'll do this again for day 2.